Hey guys, how's everybody doing? It's March 15th, I think. Yesterday was Pi Day for all you mathematicians out there, but today I'm just going to throw the carburetor back on the Minneapolis real quick, and I got some new spark plug wires from Rudy Kalin at Rebuilt Mags. Thanks a lot, Rudy. I'm going to get those thrown on today, that way that's done. And then I'm going to see if I can get the exhaust valve on number 3 cylinder freed up. I'm going to try a couple methods that a lot of guys have used, going in through the spark plug hole and giving it some light taps with a punch just to see if I can drive it back, because it's not closing all the way. So that's where our misfire is. But I'm going to see if I can't get that thing to fall back into place, and then that's probably going to be about it. It's a little chillier than I thought it was out here when I got out to the car, so it's supposed to be having a warm up, but it's not, hasn't quite warmed up the way I was hoping. So let me get my tools situated and then we'll get to work. Okay guys, well, I took the rear valve cover off, or the tappet cover, and it seems this valve, which is our number 3 exhaust, is the one that's hanging open. All the other valves seem to be doing okay, and I've already checked the ones in the front 2 cylinders. Seems to be this rear valve, or I'm sorry, this number 3 exhaust valve. So what I'm going to do is I already pulled the spark plug out of the other side for number 3. I'm going to see if I can't get a punch to this valve to kind of drive it back. But we'll see. I'll have to just see what I can do. Let's see, there's really no good place to put the camera, so bear with me. Let's see, we gotta go to this valve. See, I'm just trying to feel exactly where they are. I'm on the valve there, so feels like we're pretty close, but let me I want to pull the valve cover off this front one here. camera so you guys can see what's going on over here. I wonder if we have a bent rocker arm. Seems like this one sticks out a lot further than any of my other ones here. I don't know, let me I'm gonna grab a screwdriver and see if I can't adjust this thing a little bit, but it sure seems like this valve is level with the other one. Try rotating it over quick. Huh. Well, I'm not exactly sure on that. And I'm not even certain how these come out. I think it's just that nut there, and then these might lift out, but I'm not 100% certain on that. Let me do some digging real quick and then I'll turn the camera back on. Alright guys, well, I pulled this rocker assembly out and it's just that one nut and the whole assembly lifts out. And it seemed to be pretty straight. You know, I'm just trying to compare it between these two and it seemed like it wasn't really bent, so the only thing I can think of is that this, but that wouldn't be the case either. If the adjustment screw was more worn on this valve than it is on the other ones, I wouldn't think that would be the case. But anyways, I've got this valve pushed back all the way, and I adjusted. What I had to do was, instead of having the lock nut on the outside, I put it on the inside and then threaded the adjustment screw into the rocker arm and then through the lock nut, so I can still use the lock nut, but I adjusted it, you know, as close as I can. I don't have my feeler gauge here, but I think it's either the intake's got to be at 0.008 and the exhaust is at 0.010, or vice versa. But let me get the valve covers back on and we'll go from there. Alright guys, well, we got everything buttoned back up. I got my new spark plug wires on, courtesy of Rudy at rebuiltmags.com. And I've got the carburetor back on and hooked up. So now we just have to get the fuel tank figured out and run our fuel line, and that should be about it. I do have the tank stripped down. I guess I could get back to the house and show you guys that, but I do have it stripped down and I used quite a bit of JB Weld on it, so I think that was going to be the best option for us since it had a lot of pinholes. So I think that was probably the best option. But let's take a drive back to the house and I'll show you the tank, and then the next part of the video will be a test run of the tractor. So we'll see how it goes after messing around with that valve a little bit. But I'm hoping everything worked out okay. But otherwise, the only other thing I can think of is it might be a bent valve. but seeing as it doesn't come in contact with the top of the piston, I don't know how we could have a bent valve, but you never know. Weirder things have happened. So we'll just go take a look at that tank, and then the next part of the video will be a test run. So stay tuned. Alright guys, we're back at the house, and as you can see, we got the tank completely stripped, but there are some areas of JB Weld that I wasn't sure if I was going to need to do it or not, so I did it anyways, just to be safe. But I figure I can always sand it and smooth it down at a later time. So the big problem areas were the front of the tank. You know, up in this area there was a lot of pinholes. So hopefully that's all taken care of now. Hopefully it's all taken care of. And then we had a few issues on the front face of the tank as well. But I put quite a bit of JB Weld on there, so we should be good to go. I'll just have to do another round of electrolysis here the next few days, and then try to get as much of the rust out of the inside as I can. I don't think you'll be able to see down in there, because I can't even see down in there, but it doesn't look too bad. It definitely needs another round, but that's where we're sitting with the tank, so hopefully we are good to go and won't have any issues. But if so, then I'll probably just start looking for another tank at some point. But for right now, this will have to do with getting into the new house and everything. So anyways, I just want to take a quick second and thank everybody who could donate. Ooh, jeez, a lot of crap on the lens there. There we go. Everybody that could donate to Domino's GoFundMe, I just wanted to take a quick second to thank you guys, because it's going to make a difference for him and his family. So it's been a tough road for him the last year or so, and he's helped me a lot with projects. He painted the case for me. The F-20 was sitting in his garage for an entire summer. The Farm LM was sitting in his driveway for an entire summer, and you know, all the tools he's let me use, and countless sanding discs and sandpaper and all this other stuff. And you know, he's my best friend, and every little bit I can do to help him out, because I know he's helped me a ton with all my stuff. So I appreciate anything you guys can do for him. So anyways, next part of the video will be another test run of that Minneapolis. So yeah, we'll see you then. Hey guys, well, this is kind of an in-between part of the video. Haven't had a chance to fire up the Minneapolis yet. I did 2 rounds of electrolysis on the tank. I put a lot of JB Weld on it, because after the first round of electrolysis we found a lot more pinholes. So I JB welded all those shut, and then I primed the tank yesterday and today. I put a few coats on it, and this afternoon here, see, it's March 21st now, but this afternoon I went over and threw the tank back on it quick, put the sediment bowl on, ran some fuel line, carburetor's back on. New plug wires are on. I can't even remember if that was in the previous part of the video, but that's all done. Hood is back on, so it's pretty much ready to throw some fuel in it and see what happens. But I've been off all week since Monday, so as you can see, I've been pretty busy getting everything ready to move, because a week from Friday we're out of here. So anyways, tractors are out. The Case, the John Deere, and the Farmall H are at one of my high school friends. Shout out to Cody. Thanks for letting me keep the tractors at your place for a week. But he only lives about a mile or so from our new place, so got them parked over there so that we can fill the garage with stuff and then put it in a trailer. Shout out to my coworker Matt. He's bringing over an enclosed trailer for us to fill up, so that most of the boxes and stuff like that will be out of here, and we'll be just living off bare necessities for the next week or so. You know, paper plates and solo cups and all that stuff. So other than that, man, we're down to the last like 9 days now, so it's coming, you know, it's coming, but didn't feel like it ever would. So anyways, the next part of the video will probably be a start up and hopefully test drive of the Minneapolis. So we'll see what happens, but I haven't even stuck it in gear or operated the clutch yet while it's running, so I don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully nothing too terrible. But stay tuned for the next part of the video. Hey guys, well, I figured I'd come over here and get the starter in the M real quick, since it's a real easy job, or at least it should have been. But as I was taking the 2 bolts out of the bell housing that hold the starter in place to put the starter in, I dropped one, and I dropped one in probably the worst spot you could, down inside the bell housing. So I had to run back home, get my magnet, and I'm going to try to fish it out of inside the bell housing, because if it's caught up, if this big bolt is caught up in the ring gear or the clutch, I don't want to run this tractor until I get it out. And the only way to do that is to drop the belly pump and go in it that way. And that would obviously be the easiest way, but I'm gonna try to fish it out with the magnets, so we'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky, but maybe not. We'll see. Maybe I can get at it from inside that grease zerk hole as well. So say a prayer for me. Alright guys, well, believe it or not, I was able to get that darn bolt out of there. I had to go through that grease port on the side of the torque tube, or clutch housing you could call it. I had to go down through there, pull the bolt up through that hole and hang onto it with my fingers, and then come down from the top through the starter hole and pull it out that way, because it wouldn't fit through that hole with the grease zerk rod in the way from the throwout bearing. But I got it. So starter's back in, battery's hooked up. Let's see what happens. this run for a few minutes just to let the oil circulate, and then we're gonna head over and put some fuel into Minneapolis and see what we can't get out of it. Alright? Hey guys, well, as you can see, the Minneapolis has turned around. I did get it to start and run, and it runs good, but the camera was in photo mode and not video mode, so I'm gonna start it back up for you, and we'll go for a quick little drive around. But just a couple things before I start it. I got a little bit of a gas drip. I got to tighten my fittings here, and then the air cleaner is plugged completely, so I got to take that off and flush it out when we get into the new house. But let me fire this thing up, and we'll go for a quick little drive. To pull that air cleaner hose off the air cleaner, it was choking it out. The clutch does need to be adjusted on this. I kind of got to hold it in place with my foot, but this will work here. makes a little bit of noise in road gear, so we might have to figure that out too, but it idles pretty good. It's not idled all the way down, but I haven't adjusted the carb yet, so. Whoop. Whoop. Well, I guess that takes care of that. Maybe it's getting a little too much fuel at idle. That could be it. But anyways, it runs good. It drives pretty good. The clutch needs to be done, but needs to be adjusted anyways. But that's a good start, you know. We've got it's a good start. Looks like we already got a little bit of water in here that I couldn't get out of the tank, so that's good. At least it's separating out and it's not getting into the engine, so not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. But we got a runner. Anyways, back to moving for me. Enough screwing around. I got stuff to do, so thanks for watching, thanks for wrenching with me, and hope you enjoyed the first ride on the Minneapolis.